NASCAR Xfinity Series has rolled on to Kentucky. What better way than a double dip in the Bluegrass State?
This is a tough physical race.
With things heating up, what rising star will reign supreme and savor the sweet taste of victory lane?
Chase Briscoe, he's putting together this magical season.
NASCAR Xfinity Series, next on FS1.
Just about time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series to get to business at Kentucky Speedway. Last 6 races here, 6 different winners. One driver that could make it 7 in the last 7 is Harrison Burton. And to say the rookie is due would be an understatement. Look at his first 10 races versus the last 4. A pair of wins, average finish 4.6. In fact, the only thing that's not a goose egg in the last 4 is 2 DNFs, an average of 26.5. Let's go from the driver's seat. He's starting 17th, Clint.
Go to him. Hey, Harrison Burton, Boyer, Bush, Double A over in the Fox booth. You got us, buddy? Oh, don't do this to me. Harrison Burton, you got us?
Yeah, man, I got you loud and clear.
All right, bud. For the first time since we've come back from the COVID, you finally are at a racetrack with a little bit of practice. Got 200 miles under your belt last night. What did you learn that you could put forth to winning this baby, punching your ticket here tonight?
The biggest thing is, you have to be really smart about where you make your passes and how you make your passes. So track position is super important. Restarts are super important. So I think I learned some stuff, doing restarts last night that'll hopefully make me better tonight. And will hopefully give us a better shot to win this thing. I know we've got a fast race car and we can make it happen.
Like that confidence. Good luck. We'll be watching, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you.
If you finished outside the top 15 last night, you start tonight where you finished that race. Top 15 inverted, putting Myatt Snyder and Jesse Little on the front row. Before we go green, let's check in pit side one more time and say hello to Jamie Little. What's up, Jamie?
Hello, Adam. Well, as you just mentioned, 6 different winners in the last 6 races here, including last night when we saw Austin Cindric get it done. So who is next? How about Ross Chastain? He finished 3rd last night, his 7th straight top 10 finish. Now, if you remember, Ross won the first race for Colleague Racing a year ago at Daytona. Tonight, he's hoping to get his first win of the season here, and he's confident he can do it, Adam.
Well, Jamie, I'm sorry. I stole your stat, 6 in the last 6. I said Harrison Burton could do it. You say Ross Chastain. We have a lot of options this evening. And now, as we see it.
Yeah, we heard it from Harrison Burton. Restarts. You have to be aggressive on restarts. There's no bones about it. If you're on the inside, you're not in the preferred lane, but you got to get it sorted out.
Widening the groove out. We saw very, very narrow racing quarters last night. A lot of carnage because of this. NASCAR has put a lot of effort into trying to drag this line down, make it better side-by-side racing for us tonight. Let's see if that happens. You can see it right there getting into the bottom.
One thing, too, you got to adapt to your pit crew and the strategy that your crew chief has given you. 4 tires, 2 tires, fuel only. The stages are a little bit longer tonight, so you just got to adapt to whatever the crew chief's going to hand you.
And then finally, can Cindric sweep? I liked what I saw of the 22 car last night. A lot of speed, especially when they got out on the point. Let's see if he can sweep this baby tonight.
And there you see him coming down pit road, as all the drivers will do. No practice, no qualifying. And so you get an opportunity to drive down the pit lane and check that pit road speed. And then you'll come back up on the banking, get ready to go racing. And Kurt, you said it, a little longer tonight than what we had last night. 300 miles, the stages expanded, and we get a competition caution at lap 20, so all these drivers can come down and check on their race car. Let's hear from Justin Haley's team starting 9th tonight.
We got your back, and you're rising above. That's what you keep doing. Look, you're rising into points. You're doing what you need to do. Get after it on a restart. That's what you have to do to get these stage points. Go have at it there, brother. Thank you.
Chris Rice, Colleague team president, the master motivator.
He is too, man. It's so funny.
Pacing the field tonight here at Kentucky, the all-new Toyota GR Supra. Myatt Snyder on the pole, just like he was for the second part of our doubleheader in Miami. He also finished 15th in our first race down there. Inside of him, Jesse Little. and Snyder going to take the outside lane.
Yeah.
We didn't see that on the initial start last night.
We didn't last night, but as the race progressed, as they wore into that traction compound, we did. The race was won on the outside. This is a good call. I like this inversion. I like what I see. As a race car driver, I don't know that it's fair sometimes, Kurt. We see this on Sundays. We've been on both sides of it, right? You're either on the good side or the bad side. But as a fan and somebody that's watching this race tonight, I like what I see with this.
Here we have the invert, top 15. Some of these guys have never been this far up front, and it's going to be good down into 1 and 2. Lights are out. Let's let it rip.
Green flag, and we're underway at Kentucky.
This is Myatt's second pole off of the inversion. These guys are definitely smart on what they were trying to do with that invert, and that's what now they have track position.
Still dirty. You saw the 9 of Noah Gragson get loose down there. I think that's just a product of this place.
Oh man.
Already into the wall. Yeah, that's a 47 of Kyle Weatherman. Had a career best last night. Finished 8th, started in the top 10, and just like yesterday evening, problems on the opening lap.
Man, it's
in
still
the wall
green.
In 3 and 4, and yeah, we're
Still
yet
green.
to see a caution. Saw a lot of debris. We'll keep an eye, and here's Jeremy Clements in the 51 jumping to the race lead.
Did he check out of the gas because he thought the yellow was going to come out?
That's a great point, Kurt. It very well could have been.
I cannot believe there was no yellow. They are letting it race.
For whatever reason, this traction compound and the racetrack is very, very slick on the first. Man, that's such a disappointing start. I hate that for him and his team.
Mike Harmon's been around forever in the series. Last night, the first time they had a top 10 finish, and so much disappointment early. And here is how Jeremy Clements got the top spot away from Myatt Snyder coming off of turn 4.
I got
there
loose
it
right
was.
there.
Yep.
Again, I just think it's a product of that traction compound. It takes heat. You got to burn the heat into that thing before you get the grip on the car.
Whoa! Teammate
Hang on to it
Snyder
there, buddy.
outside of Sieg, and Sieg is sideways.
Hang on to it. Off the brake. Off the brake.
Into the wall, and now we get a caution, our first of the night.
You don't see that mistake very often from Ryan Sieg. He's done a great job this year keeping that team up front. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it back underneath them.
Had such a good start to the year. Some problems when we returned from that long break, but they were back in the top 10 last night and unfortunately couldn't make the save.
We talked about this widening the groove. It just doesn't look like it's down. And Kurt and I talked about this and made note of this. It looks like they did a little bit more work down in 3 and 4 than they did 1 and 2. Again, just looked like he was down there in slick conditions, got loose underneath of him, away it went.
Man, it's tough. Kentucky's notorious for low grip. Like the track sits there and bakes all day in the sun, and the first set of tires or the first run, everything's just slipping, sliding, and slimy, and you're seeing guys bust loose, especially when you're on the inside of somebody on the fast side of the track. Down in 1 and 2, it's way faster than it is in 3 and 4. Real-time look off of 2, and he's just sideways and gone. Not much he's going to do there.
2 drivers have had problems early. First caution comes out before lap 5 at Kentucky. Early caution's a theme at Kentucky. Lap 1 last night, lap number 3 tonight. And you see our biggest movers, Justin Allgaier coming from the rear. Same with Brandon Jones. Justin is plus 14, but look, he's got a little bit of an issue with the tear off there.
Almost looks like the way it is right there, Kurt, like it's got a big nick out of it, like a part or something come up and hit it.
Yeah,
and maybe cut them all, you know what I mean?
Might have been shrapnel from Weatherman's car when he tagged the fence. And then, yeah, did it cut through all of those tear-offs? That might be a bit bothersome for the full 200 laps.
Brandon Jones needs a big run. It's good to see him coming up through the pack.
Brandon Jones, 22nd. Right there with Daniel Hemrick, who also was coming from the rear, driving the 8 car. Front row on the restart, Clements and Gregson up to 2nd.
You know Gregson's chomping at the bit, trying to drive down into 1 and get the lead. Let's see what he's got here. It's going to be a little slick down there.
We learned last night that 9 can lead some laps at Kentucky, and there he goes.
Got Moffitt got loose in the middle back there, and he lost a lot of spots.
It's a great battle for the lead, and what's Gregson got? Is he going to be able to move on up a little bit? No, he played really nice and gave the outside to Clements.
I don't know that he gave it to him. That was a wise decision.
I mean, yes, it is a bit
but you can
treacherous
see what we were talking about. It seems like that they ran that tire drag and it's got a little bit better groove and certainly had more grip in 3 and 4 than it did when he was running the bottom of 1 and 2.
Alfredo started 10th. He's worked his way up to 3rd in the 21. I understand there was a problem for Brett Moffitt in the 02, flat tire. We'll follow up there. He was top 10 in last night's race.
Chastain working the low groove. You know he's going to throw it down in there, but again, the preferred groove is up where that PJ1 spray is, where the darker groove sits. That's where you're going to have the most grip. We're at lap 9, lap 10, lap 12. That's when the tires are going to start to feel a lot better. They've been way too slick here just to start out.
Keep that almighty momentum going up there. Man, big run right there. Past 3 or 4 cars.
Snyder's definitely on the loose side of things. What do you think, Boyer?
Yeah, he certainly is. Been in trouble from the drop of the flag, but I like what I see with the racetrack. It's cleaning up well.
Clear down, clear down.
Seven's got trouble.
What's going on with Allgaier, Jamie?
Yeah, he has more issues than just the tear-offs on the windshield. See, he's almost sideways. He just told the team he is wrecking loose on the straightaways. They told him to bring it down. Remember, this is a backup, so it's the first time it has been on the racetrack.
I guess the good news here is that you're going to get a competition caution. You got a couple of stage breaks. If you can minimize the damage, not lose too many laps, you can use the free pass, maybe a wave around, get yourself back in the game. At the front, Clements continues to lead, but Gregson not going away.
And that just shows the importance of taking care of your car. We talked about it last night. You know, making sure that you start this race with the car that you brought. And unfortunately, they didn't and missed it a little bit. 51, Jeremy Clements leading this race, doing a great job. That's awesome for him and his team, family, such a good family. Been in this sport a long time. I spent a lot of money down there at the old Clements boys at Race Shots buying late model engines, always bringing the heat.
Well, that's why they're able to race. His dad, Tony, great engine builder for late model drivers all across the country. He builds engines for these Xfinity cars. It saves them a ton of money, and when they show up, they come to win. He was out front for a while last night on a 2-tire stop. Out front again tonight, but not for long. The 9 jumps in front of him. Can he hang on as we come to 4?
Turning right back under him. The old slide job. We saw that last night several times. You got to be careful. You slide up there, but you got to get her woed up, Kurt.
And now Gregson, though, he's going to be on the outside, and is he going to pinch the 51 down, or is he just going to aim right into the traction compound? Boom, there it is. Aims for the traction compound, keeps his momentum up, and picks up the lead. I mean, Gregson was putting the pressure on him, and he wanted to get out there and get some more laps led.
Can you believe this? Clements, who's been around forever, led the first 12 laps. Most laps he's ever led in an Xfinity race. Great job for him, and he's 2nd right now behind Noah.
Now you got to love that invert. Well, here's Harrison Burton making up some quick ground. He's already P6.
Started 17th. Great start to the race for him.
He's definitely going to trend towards the first half of his season right now, as far as all those good top 10 runs and good consistent runs.
Tell you what, that 11 car right there is pulling loose. You see that thing wiggling around in the traction compound. Oh, by the way, you don't want it wiggling much more than that and that stuff, do you?
No, he's tiptoeing around, trying to figure out where the balance of his setup is. He's definitely on the loose side.
But I think that's just like we saw last night, that 22 car. He started the race off, was plenty loose, and the track came to him, and I think it's going to do it again.
Austin Cindric won last night, started 15th tonight. He too is gaining ground early and maybe starting to gain the favorite label again, because he is passing a lot of cars and he's going through some pretty good ones right now.
Yeah, it certainly was. And how he did that is exactly how you got to navigate traffic in this. He had those cars side by side. You got to be able to take advantage of them. A lot of times you can get a 2-for-1 right there.
And it shows how important it is with the PJ1 spray that you would rather be in dirty air and follow a guy and be in that spray. That's how important that spray is.
And Daniel Hemrick, by the way, this is his first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been here twice, but that's his first time being on the racetrack. So to see him in that 8 car marching up through the field, that's going to be a good night for them. Good to see.
And kind of double trouble, because he was going to start at the back because of the driver change. Jeb Burton drove the 8 last night, but Jeb wrecked and they went to a backup car. So he's fighting a couple of things here, but he's made his way to the top dozen in the first 15 laps, Jamie.
Absolutely, and it was really unfortunate. This team did not get a chance to learn anything about last night's race. Daniel was here. I saw him on the pit box early on. This backup car, though, is set up for Daniel. They didn't have to do much work to it. They already had the sponsor wrap on there. But this team, Adam, has not finished a race since Dale Jr. was in it 6 races ago at Homestead.
And Daniel drove it that weekend in part 2 of the doubleheader in Miami and had a great run going, but wrecked out in that overtime finish. He wants to get back on track and has a fast race car early. So does Cindric. You saw him go to the top 5, and Burton still wrestling with Haley here.
Finally made the pass. They have been wrestling for several laps there. Austin Cindric made short time with both of them, went on. Finally, Harrison Burton makes the pass.
Yeah, I think at this point you're getting a good feel now of the track's grip level, the balance of the car in turns 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4. And this is where you're going to start to communicate with your crew chief on, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I think I need, and this is how early in the race discussions start.
Yeah, definitely the track's cleaning up. That traction compound obviously has the heat burn into it. The other factor is the old sun's going down. It's cooling down. All these factors are going to contribute to the balance of the race car when they come to pit road.
Gregson around Stephen Light, who won this race a number of years ago. Let's check in with Allgaier and his group.
Yeah, that was it. I don't know which one was going flat, but definitely going flat. Yeah, the right rear was going flat right there. The right rear was going flat.
They did approve an extra tire, and he's the first guy 1 lap down, going to get the and Light just went a lap down, so he's fallen out of the free pass position.
But that's
Sorry about
experience.
That,
you know, Justin came in, made that call, knew it was the right call, made the call for him and his team, and saved that race car.
And there's plenty of time to make it back up. But yeah, that was probably that shrapnel from Weatherman hitting the fence off too, and that's just part of the bad luck of starting in the back and running something over.
Cindric going 2 for 1.
Yeah, he is.
Inside of Chastain and the 21 of Anthony Alfredo. That's a heck of a move right there into turn 1.
Making it look easy.
Car's fast.
What's
fast
Alfredo?
last night.
Alfredo's going to look to the high side.
Exactly. This is the competition
Caution.
Leaders.
And you heard it there from NASCAR. This is our scheduled competition caution. Noah Gragson leading this thing. Jeremy Clements hanging on to second. Cindric, Chastain, Alfredo, the top 5. Will they pit? We find out next.
A lot of times here as well, you can get right behind somebody and make them loose, and get right under them right after that. And normally that doesn't make people too happy, but at least you get in front of them.
Yeah, you can certainly get right behind them, take the air off of them. You gotta be careful not to bump them because, oh, by the way, when they get back behind you, they just might get you back and retaliate. There's a lot of different ways. The biggest thing that I see on this racetrack, utilizing this traction compound, is that slide job. It may not complete the pass in that particular corner, but it sets you up for the next corner coming to take the advantage.
Yeah, because you'll be on the outside, and then the other guy's on the inside, and he's going to have to check up. Unless the track starts to groom itself and continues to find more grip, and that will help out with the racing.
Here, saving fuel already right there.
Ford Performance track facts tonight. Ford has won 6 of the last 13 Kentucky Xfinity races. Got a big one last night with that guy, Austin Cindric, and that's the most of any manufacturer. They won here last year too. Cole Custer got him to victory lane. Alfredo, 6th last night, and he's 5th right now.
If I can help you across the middle, that's what you need?
Yeah, probably a little bit, but more so like turn late in the late exit. You know, right when I'm about at the wall, I feel like I don't want them to crack it somewhere driving out to the wall to keep it rotating, because if I stay matted, it just drives straight out to the wall. I'm worried about catching it.
That's right, too. You got to be careful there. When that thing takes off in a push, Kurt, you grab a whole handful of wheel, and eventually that thing's going to bite. And when it does, you better have your hands, you better be ready for it, because it can come around and get you loose, and you're either going to overcorrect and get in the wall or spin out.
Yeah, if you're on the tight side, yep, you gotta be able to utilize that, and he's doing good. He's going to check up off the throttle, stay cool.
Before we go green, let's hear from Jamie Little.
Chase Briscoe moved up 1 spot to 11th, and even though he finished 4th last night, Richard Boswell, his crew chief, told me they went to plan B+ for the setup. They wanted to make a lot of changes. They had to change that camber in the left front. They took some out because, remember, Adam, last night I felt like we were talking about tire vibration a lot, wheel vibration for these drivers, so they're hoping to combat that tonight with those changes.
Yeah, we definitely saw several cars cord in the left front last night. I think that got better as they rubbered in the racetrack, but again, those are things that they can adjust as teams as we go from one night to the other.
Second caution is the competition caution. Matt Mills gets the free pass, and we'll keep an eye on Justin Allgaier as he tries to get in that free pass position after getting a lap down with that unscheduled pit stop early. We go green as we complete lap 25, and it will be Gregson and Clements up front.
There we go, boys. Got Gregson in control of the restart.
22 pushing Clements on the bottom. He's going to see. I think he'll put him 3 wide here. He's going to look for it. Needs to push right now. Big push right here for Jeremy Clements.
Chastain's going to be able to make the outside groove work, and can he get clear of Cindric?
Jeremy Clements, he is taking a full advantage of this clean air, holding tough against some pretty stout competition. That's cool to see, Adam.
I'm watching Cindric because you find out real quickly what a disadvantage that inside lane can be. He was dominating this race before the caution, restarts in the inside lane and going in the wrong direction right there at the initial start.
Yeah, I saw it time and time again last night, and it doesn't look like it's changed much tonight.
Briscoe jumped up tonight. Jamie talked about the fact he was 11th prior to going green one more time.
Guess we're going to see how patient Cindric is going to play this. You know, he's got a fast car. He won last night. But
I hope he didn't hear Harrison's interview right there. Just get up on the rear of him and get him loose.
See how it plays out.
Usually doesn't.
But Kurt, you said, how are you going to play it? And I got to believe the sense of urgency is up for everyone because we're 18 laps till the stage ends. And speaking of which, here comes the 98, and he's bringing 2 of those guys with him that started in the rear, the 8 of Daniel Hemrick and the 19 of Brandon Jones. They're all getting after it.
And they all need a good run. Daniel Hemrick stepping in again. We just talked about that. Him stepping into this thing cold turkey, running, not having that 200 laps of practice tonight. Brandon Jones, he's the same boat. He essentially didn't get any laps on the track, wrecked on the first lap. Really, the wreck landed in his lap. It was unfortunate. See the 11 car get loose right there. Still, that 11 car has been loose all night long.
It has. We got Chastain looking to try to complete the pet. Oh, no. tiptoeing into turn 3, pedaling the throttle. Man, these guys are working hard.
Pedaling it.
Clement's doing great up there.
Uh-oh. He's fixing to get freight trained.
Yes, he is. 51, 20, 22, 18. Uh-oh, Chastain. What are you going to do here, buddy?
So frustrating right there. Now he's loose. Now the 20's around him, and here comes the 22. 3 cars. Boom. Oh,
more. They're lined up.
Oh.
Riley Herb said, I've been invited to the party. Anthony Alfredo said, give me some of this.
This is looking like a Talladega freight train, and we're at 1.5 miles.
Hey, Kurt, we have to do this tomorrow night. You do realize that, right?
Actually, Sunday afternoon, but we understand.
Sunday, we want it to be warmer out. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, Sunday.
Still his momentum is crushed, and Briscoe is going on by. How'd that work out there, Chastain? Man, he had...
Start over, right?
Yep.
That's what you got to do. Start the process over again. But you have to take those risky chances. You have to drive it off in there and try to make that pass. If you don't, you're never going to get around it.
15 laps to go in the opening stage from Kentucky. It's the 9 out front. Clements, Burton, Cindric, and Herbst, your top 5. Where is it? "35 laps in, 10 more until we wrap up our opening stage here at Kentucky Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Been a fun little race so far. Had a caution on lap number 3 when Ryan Sieg got sideways. Did have an unscheduled pit stop for Justin Allgaier. He actually had a rotor. We were showing the tear-off problem on the windshield. He had a rotor hit his windshield, and that's what created that problem. Then they had the tire issue. But right now he's riding in that free pass position. We'll see if he can hang on with 9 to go on the stage.
Definitely needs to catch that break and kind of get a reset. But yeah, man, I'm glad that windshield was able to protect the driver from a brake rotor, man. That's a huge hit.
And obviously that brake rotors from weather to these cars, when he hit the wall, it'll break those brake rotors and those shrapnel will go flying. But hey, that's a pretty big piece that hit him right there. That's a shot.
Look at these two. Jesse Little in the 4-car driving for Johnny Davis, and the 92 is Josh Williams. Of course, he works with Mario Goslin. Both of them up there inside the top 15. Really good for them tonight. And there's the 90 of Ronnie Bassett Jr. We showed you off the top that wild crash in the final lap of the race last night. They had to go to a backup. He's slowing now, but he too was in the top 15 moments ago.
And great to see those guys. They were burning the midnight oil last night. You know, obviously not an operation that's prepared to completely overhaul a car like that and get something ready. That was a huge shot for the car that they had last night. Good to see them back on the track tonight.
Well, there's Colby Howard in the 15. Another team that's somewhat underfunded, but he had to go to a backup car, and he's up to 19th now. 18-year-old out of South Carolina, just graduated high school.
And that is definitely, we talked about that plan B plus that the 98 had. Listen, that's plan Z right there. You do not want to do that. Those guys are not prepared to come to a track like this with a doubleheader and have to pull that backup car out. So they were working their tails off.
Why did Colby Howard?
Ooh, very loose.
Yeah, we almost
go ahead and give you that spot, Brandon.
We almost had a moment there. So why did Colby Howard have to go to a backup car last night? He had a bit of a run-in with the 21 of Anthony Alfredo. Here's how it went down, Clint.
Yeah, just doing a little side draft, and these guys got too close right here.
Oops.
And you can see, obviously, a left side tire was cut down, got him in the wall, unfortunately. He had such a strong run going. Very, very young kid, putting on a good show last night. Back at it again tonight.
Man, that's such a tough break for just a small little rub, man.
And he said, let's go have pasta together after the race.
No, that's not what he said.
It's not. Do you want to tell us what he said, Clint?
Choke on pasta. That's what he said. I hope you choke on your pasta.
I'm glad you cleaned that up over what you were thinking. I don't even want to know what you were thinking.
I tell you what I'm thinking. 5 to go. Noah Gragson is going to win another stage, just like he did last night. It's going to be interesting. Look at these cars. Harrison Burton taking advantage of that practice session they had last night. And, oh, look at this 22 car catching them.
I don't know about your prediction. Where are you going? You going Gregson, Burton, or Cindric to win the stage here, Kurt?
I mean, catching them's one thing, passing them's another, but here we got some lap traffic.
And this is exactly how you do it,
His
Kurt.
momentum
Catching
got
them,
crushed.
Take advantage of these lap traffic. Pin them on a lapper. That's how you're going to do it.
It looks like Gragson was able to hold him off for right now. But yes, Gragson was leading by almost 2 seconds. That's gone. Burton is there. Cindric's just waiting. Let's see how this plays out. We got 3 really good cars with 3 laps to go.
I think we've added a car to the horse. These 2 cars, the 9 and the 22, were the class of the field last night. This 20 car in Harrison Burton's very fast.
Hey, Joe Gibbs Racing needed some love. All 3 of their cars in the top 6 right now. And the best of the bunch, carrying our Toyota on board. This is Harrison Burton's second.
Proof's in the pudding. Had that practice session, 200 miles of practice, utilized that all across the board for the Gibbs cars. Those rookie drivers are putting it to good use.
Saw the leaders go around Cody Vanderwall, putting him a lap down. That means Justin Allgaier has fallen from the free pass position. A lap and a half to go in the stage. It's getting good, Kurt.
That's a heartbreaker right there. Man, we got good racing every which direction right now.
Can he do the crossover and get underneath of him right here?
That's going to be a momentum killer. If Burton plays his cards right.
Here comes a 22 as well.
Yep.
Cindric
to the outside. We got 1 lap to go for this.
Cindric did get Harrison Burton past. 1 lap to go to get Gregson.
And that pass there might have opened the door for the 9 to win the stage.
Yeah.
He created just enough cushion, and we'll see if he can hang on here with a half a lap to go.
I think he did a great job knifing through all that traffic. I mean, stage wins are huge. You get to carry that bonus point with you through the playoffs.
Harrison might get to 22 back right here. I think he's going to.
And this is for second. Burton to the outside of Cindric. Photo finish for second. Give it to Burton behind Gregson, who has now won 8 stages this year. And so far, he's 3 for 3 at Kentucky. Let me remind you of this. A stage winner, they've never won the race at Kentucky Speedway. Keep that in mind. The NHRA resumes their season this weekend in Indianapolis. This will be their first event since February and begins a stretch of 16 races over the course of the next 19 Sundays. Check out qualifying at these times tomorrow and the Indy Special noon Eastern Sunday on Fox. Stage 1 complete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Kentucky. Gragson led 36 laps and gets his 8th stage win of the year. Burton, Cindric, Alfredo Jones, the top 5. Herbst, Briscoe scoring points. Clements had a great run. And Hemrick and Chastain complete the top 10.
Here we come.
First pit stops of the night. They're heading your way, Jamie.
Harrison Burton had an early penalty last night. They'll be sure to remind him of that, to watch his dash. Make sure you do not speed. Make sure we get all the equipment back over the wall. Says the car is still too tight. He felt the wear on the tires. They want to fix that just a bit. And meanwhile, down pit road a little bit more. You see Alfredo in the 9. Noah Gragson said security is fine, but he needs to be better if he's going to beat Cindric. Meanwhile, the 22 is Cindric, you see there in the number 2 pit box tonight. His car has been pretty good. Says that both ends of the racetrack are better connected than they were last night.
In the race off pit road, I'll tell you that 19, they have been on it all weekend long. Burton comes off second. In fact, the top 4 maintain their position. And if it's like last night, it's Chase Elliott's crew that's pitting that 9 car.
Let's check out Noah. Hey, Noah, it's Boyer Bush. Double A, you got us?
Where to speak?
Oh, boy.
Number 7.
We're not going to really be able to talk to him right now.
Let's let him. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he just got speeding. Man, I always set myself up for this. Now I got to talk to him. He's bummed out. Had a handful of comments. Stage win. We're going for it anyway. Hey, Noah, it's Boyer. FS1 booth. You got us? Man, stage winning machine, buddy. Holding a pretty wheel. Obviously, a little bit of hiccup right there. Anybody can get back up through them. I know you can. How's the track? How's your balance? And how are you going to get back up through them now?
Well, I think our switch Camaro is a little bit tighter today, with it being 45 laps instead of 30 laps in the stages, and the race being 100 laps longer. The tire wear is going to come into a factor. I think Dave Ellens and the rest of the team, they've been doing a great job, working really hard. Very thankful for them. From yesterday, we got into the wall at the end of the race, so tires are wearing a lot more today. Got that stage win, but driver stepped on his you-know-what, so unfortunate, but we're gonna keep on holding our heads up, keep on fighting all day today. Super thankful for this team. Pit crew did a great job. It's not over. Still got a long race, so hopefully we can rebound. I'm going to be trying my best and hopefully be putting on a show.
All right, man. Good luck. Find that peanut butter and jelly. Get back up through them. We're looking for you.
10-4, thanks.
Peanut butter and jelly. That's a reference to last night when that's how Gragson referred to the traction compound.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Never heard of that. Look at that. Corden again.
A few problems for drivers when they made their pit stops. The first we'll point out here, tire getting away. You see it highlighted on the 4 of Jesse Little. And now go to the front of pit road and tell us what you see.
This is what I was wanting to see. The 22 is not in the #1 pit stall. That is not an option this time. So just like last night, 9 times out of 10, that #1 stall, given everything is correct on pit road, will win the race off pit road. We saw it last night that it didn't, and it's all because they're not in the #1 stall. They're using the #2 stall as the #1. Here we come to green.
Huge beneficiary of that penalty is Harrison Burton. He gets lane choice outside, and he's got a fast car that we've heard didn't have cords showing on the left front tire, whereas a few others did.
Definitely a good point there, Kurt. Saw a lot of cording in the tires. All those teams are going to be watching this. Everybody's aggressive, but I think it's a product of that gray racetrack down on the bottom. You want to be up in that traction compound. That'll help these cars save those tires.
Cindric made it stick down there on the low side of 1 and 2, but right back into the spray through 3 and 4. That's where the grip is, boys.
By the way, Gregson restarted 23rd after the speeding penalty. We'll monitor his progress. Alfredo having another good night. Third, driving at 21 for RCR.
You know, Mike Dillon called me after the race last night and told me the kid has only raced his 17th start in like a stock car ever.
Yeah, a few truck races last year.
Holding a pretty good wheel.
And this year, just a few in that 21. And here comes the 9, right behind the 02 of Brett Moffitt, who had that tire issue earlier in the race. He's still 1 lap down, and 27th is Moffitt in the 02.
Big move there from Noah. Brett's had his hands full. I've seen that car out of shape several times as he's getting in traffic. As good a job as Noah did getting up through those lap traffic as we saw at the end of that stage, I got a lot of confidence. I think they can get back up through here, put on a show. But I like Harrison Burton. Man, we talk about it. Rookies needing that practice, not having that practice. Utilized it last night, putting it to good use tonight.
Everybody's doing a much better job on this second set of tires. Seems like people got their setup tweaks that they wanted. Everybody's kind of got a better feel for the track, and the track's getting groomed in. But when the track gets groomed in here at Kentucky, you can start to pour it on, and I'm hopeful that's what we'll see with all the upcoming restarts later on.
See Chase Briscoe's obviously got a good handling on here. Needed an adjustment. That B+ setup took a little bit of adjusting. They look like they've done that, got some better speed out of that.
Is it an A-? Is it an A-?
They called it a B+. It looked to me like you needed it was a C-, and now it's a B+. Now it's looking like a B+ car.
I agree with that.
He told Jamie after the race last night that's as bad a performing race car as I've had this year, and he still was able to finish inside the top 5. When you win 5 times in 13 races, if you don't win, it was just a disappointing night, right?
I used to have those days.
Oh,
finished 7th. This is horrible.
Humbling business, this old stock car racing.
You know, I thought Burton would stretch it out a little bit here, but Cindric's right on him. Alfredo's right in the mix. That kid's, he is impressing me. I met him through iRacing this spring when all of us were subjected to some of that action.
With that? Chad Canal said the same thing last night. He didn't come by my house and help me set me up.
No, he wasn't helping me set up either. He was just kicking my butt on the iRacing. So I remembered his name.
Well, he actually set Chad's rig up. Chad didn't even know who he was.
He said, "What's your name?" He said, "I'm Anthony. I drive a race car." He said, "Who for?" the hole just kept getting bigger and bigger for Chad.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a car number thing. 20, 22, 21. I'm going nowhere with that. Save me, Boyer.
Yeah, I see.
Cindric second. Is he being patient, or he just can't make the pass? Here's their radio.
Just for reference, the 20 sped up before the restart zone. I was playing games there.
My official said they wanted us to keep it more square, too, though. I don't know if you got the same message.
Just doing a little campaigning for the next stop, wasn't he? Hoping that they didn't call him on at restart. I've done that before. Have you, Kurt?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, one thing that I do see in the middle of 3 and 4, I see this 22 car pointing better. I see it turning the better center of the corner better than this 20 car. You heard Harrison Burton fighting a little bit of a tight condition. I looked for that 22 car to prevail as this run runs long.
Man, what a difference a night makes. Burton leading. Gibbs looking good. Herbst is 5th. Jones back there in 8th. We're 60 laps in at Kentucky. I'm going to steal a line from Clint Boyer.
Oh,
There's
no.
a new sheriff in town in Sparta, Kentucky, and his name is Austin Cindric.
Yeah, I would set it before we went to break. Just turning better. Right in the middle of the corner, the 20 car, you can see he can't hold the car down a little bit in the center. Put the pressure on him here, got it rotated, turned underneath of him. Pretty elementary, really. That car's fast. Really, really fast. Car to beat in Kentucky.
Yeah, Cindric's car is just rotating really well, center out. It's a good feel when you have that at Kentucky. You're able to carve underneath people, make passes, and this boy's looking to check out.
And it's a hard thing to ask. For it to rotate in the middle good, that means you're going to be probably loose getting into turn 3. Having a car that makes good grip getting into the corner and not coming out from underneath of you, but turning good enough in the center is a tall order for these crews.
We've got a long way to go in this race. We're just halfway through the second stage. But having control is so important, and that's big for Cindric and his crew chief Brian Wilson. And as you ride with Burton, the battle for third is heating up. Alfredo's got it, but saw that 98 of Chase Briscoe dipping down low in the corner.
Setup seems to be coming to him a little bit. And again, it's just a matter of finding that balance from the daytime start into the evening and staying patient and waiting for the track to come to you. That's the key at Kentucky. And like you were saying, Boyer, you got to get that car to rotate center out, but turn 3, that looseness into turn 3 is always the limiting factor.
Definitely a limiting factor. And the other thing, when you think about Harrison Burton and looking at his night last night, Adam, he spun out. At the end of the day, he spun out. So chances are him and his crew, when they went back and did some talking, they were probably going to tighten that car up for tonight. And that's something that I think I see. Jamie, do you have anything for us there on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to update our leader, Austin Cindric. After that last pit stop, he said, guys, it's too slick. I couldn't get that forward drive, that launch out of my pit box. So he asked them to clean it up. So you see right there, they are spraying that sticky magic potion that nobody wants to tell us what it is to give them some extra grip next pit stop.
I thought maybe they had an ant problem on pit road down there.
Yeah, spraying for bugs.
For me, my opinion is that stuff is like soup. It's like slick and snotty unless you burn it in with heat and with rubber. I don't know. I'm hoping that works for him, but in my opinion, it doesn't give you that traction like you think you get.
Well, I don't know. It does pretty good. If you ever walk down pit road, there is definitely a difference between where they spray that stuff and where it's not.
But with heat cycled tires, that's when you get the grip. When you got the stickers, that's when it's slick.
Pull the sole off your shoes.
These guys have done great tonight. Daniel Hemrick, he hadn't been in the car, as you pointed out earlier, Clint, because Jeb Burton raced it last night. They get the backup together, Taylor Moreland, the crew, and he's worked his way up to 6th. And right behind him, you saw the graphic there on Brandon Jones, who wrecked lap 1. He too is in a backup car.
Both of them are looking for big nights. Brandon Jones, my heart broke for him, and it's almost not fair. I mean, literally, the wreck landed in his lap.
Riley Herbst, don't tell him he's a rookie. Matched his career best last night, finishing 2nd and trying to get a spot away there from Chase Briscoe to put himself in 4th. He's looked really good.
Yeah, doing a great job. Huge night for him last night. This is the point of the race, Kurt, where you're looking for them lappers. I cannot get around him. I'm stuck in this dirty air behind the guy. He's in the preferred groove. Where is a lap car?
There's an art form to it, right? You want to catch a lap car at the right spot on the track, and sometimes you just can't do anything about it. But your job as a driver is to maintain the best lap time that you can when you're navigating through traffic. And if you're trying to battle somebody for position, yes, you want to try to be on the lucky side of it to catch the momentum from the lap car and get the pass done.
And the other thing is, while you're on that point, Adam, you got to be careful not to just run in their wake so close that you use your stuff up, because it's pretty much inevitable that he's not going to slip up at this point in the run. So you're going to have to capitalize on him catching a lap or something like that, some sort of mishap to be able to get around him. And doing so, you can't just run in his wake so much that you wear your stuff out, so when that opportunity comes, you can't take advantage of it.
Ross Chastain, 8th right now. Both Colleague cars in the top 10. His teammate Justin Haley back there in 10th.
Yeah, those boys, it looked like they started loose. You know, the 10 and the 11, both from the same stable. and that's where you get that adjustment. But then again, the track was so loose to start. It's coming to him a little bit.
That's the Nutrien Ag Solutions onboard camera. 30 laps complete in our second stage. Cindric, Burton, Alfredo, Briscoe, Herbst the top 5, and the Alsco 300 from Kentucky. And while we were away, some changes inside the top 5. Anthony Alfredo showing what he's got in that 21 car, driving to the outside of Harrison Burton. And Burton is now dropped back to 4th behind Chase Briscoe. This is a little power move here.
Yeah.
That is some smooth action from Alfredo. I love it, buddy.
Utilize that lapper.
Exactly.
It was almost like the lapper, Harrison expected that lapper to stay down. Lapper moved up, gave him way too much room. 21 capitalized.
And there's the move by Briscoe to get up to 3rd, as good as he's been tonight in the running order. Meanwhile, the 22 of Austin Cindric picking him up and putting him down. This is Jesse Little in the 4. Last car on the lead lap. Now 1 lap down. He is 16th.
That's good action here.
Let's go down to Jamie.
And Harrison Burton in that 4th position. This is his first weekend here ever in an Xfinity car. And listening on the radio to Rick Corelli, his spotter, doing an incredible job.
Keep running your pace here. Really good entry and exit. Really good exit right there. Really good. You opened up the entry a little bit and it got you better through the middle. He's being near the first third of the corner again here. You'll be running by about a half a car in and he took it back on the exit.
And of course, every driver is different. Kurt, Clint, do you guys like that chatter constantly, or do you like just key points throughout the race?
I like the key points, but if you have Rick Corelli, a champion West Coast racer, on your radio, you're going to listen to everything he has to say. Corelli and I won some races at the Cup level, and he's got that gut instinct to know because he's a former racer.
For me, I don't feel like I have an ego, so it doesn't bother me. If you want to help me, I like it. I welcome the help. I'll take it all I can get. If you see something, by all means, Brett Griffin, my spotter, tells me all the time stuff he sees. The other thing is the guys on the box, the crew chiefs, they're seeing things. They're relaying that information to Corelli or these spotters up on top. All that stuff, that's used information. And by the way, you don't have to use it all. You hear it sometimes. You put it to use if you want to. I mean, those are all just suggestions of people trying to help. By all means, listen, especially when you're a rookie like Harrison Burton.
If you're going forward, the spotter's great. If you're going backwards and the spotter's chattering in your ear, you don't want to hear any more nonsense.
No, you don't. And unfortunately, a lot of the things probably that they're talking about, you know, they're beating him a little bit in. Well, he looks to me like he's tight. So if he drives it off into the corner, he's just going to give up that speed in the center because he can't roll the speed that he needs to. Definitely that car is looking for an adjustment when they come to the end of the stage.
4 laps to go in the stage. Cindric has now been able to put Jeffrey Earnhardt a lap down, who has scored in the 14th position. Final car on the lead lap right now is Brandon Brown, and he wants to stay on that lead lap because he comes into this race on that playoff bubble. He's trying to jump inside the top 12 as he continues to fight with Myatt Snyder for that final postseason position. And there he is going a lap down.
It's amazing to see when you're looking at the lap timers here, Kurt, the difference that lap traffic makes. That was a huge, almost 7/10 of a second the last time Austin Cindric got held up with a lap car. Those are the points where you got to make sure that you knife up through them, as you said earlier.
That you start to build a pattern with some of the lap guys. You're like, okay, this guy is super slow down here. I know I've got to get him and not hold up too much of my time. So it's crazy how often you see some of those lappers.
That's a great point, too. You know, in our series, we race against each other and probably have for a long time. Every now and then you got a new guy and you can't figure him out. You don't know where he's going to go. You know, I know if I'm coming up on Kurt, I know from years of racing with him what his characteristics are, how he races, what he's looking for. A slide job like the 8 car right here coming up.
Wait. Were you telling me that you're coming up to lap me?
No,
what did I just miss right there?
That 8 car was a slide job coming. I'm like, whoa, give room.
I'm going to be honest, I got nervous on that one.
It was close.
Haley's back in 9th behind that group.
We just don't, we don't got what those guys got. I don't know what we're missing. It's not a balance arrow-wise to do what they do.
And I thought the Kaulig cars were a little behind last night. The result really didn't show it because of some of that attrition, but maybe their speed not exactly where they want it to be. Speed not a problem here.
No.
Austin Cindric has just taken over and dominating this race. Give him 5 stage wins this year. Alfredo is 2nd. Burton scores points in 3rd. And we have got quite a battle coming to the line for the 10th position. And it was Clements and Chastain. Give it to Jeremy Clements, who gets that 1 stage point. Cindric, Alfredo, Burton, Briscoe, Hemrick, your top 5 in stage 2. There are so many things that you think of when you come to Kentucky. Bluegrass, Churchill Downs, and horse racing. And there is one must-do when you come to Kentucky. You got to do the Colonel Sanders thing, right? Look, he's in attendance tonight, and he is wearing his mask.
Yeah, practicing social distancing, the whole 9 yards, mask. He's in the house.
I'm kind of creeped out.
Front row seat. Pit stops at the end of stage 2, Jamie.
And Harrison Burton in the 20 said he had a little vibration in the left front there the last 5 laps. They're going to add some tape and take some wedge out 4 tires. You see a tear off for a clear view. The 21, Anthony Alfredo, another impressive run so far for him. Said he needs to be a little bit better on the short run. Those first 5 laps, he needs to fire off better. And all the way down at the end, Austin Cindric, the 22, remember, they sprayed that magic potion for about 5 minutes out here to help his launch out. 4 tires stop, also a pretty good adjustment to help him. Let's see if it works this time. It does.
They take care of business. Riley Herbst comes out second. Really good effort by the 18 team. And Anthony Alfredo, who we were planning to talk to here at the end of the stage, had some problems. You were just an offer on this game,
Clint.
Clint.
Setting me up every single time. Lost some spots on pit road. Let's let him talk to his guys. He is probably, they're explaining to him what happened. Man, it's such a tough thing. You had a great stage. Let's go to him. Hey, Anthony, it's Boyer Bush, AA over here in the FS1 booth. You got us?
Yeah, doing. Kind of you to check in for the second night in a row.
Hey, kind of you to put on a show for us, buddy. That's what you've been doing. Second place there in that stage, holding pretty wheel. What do you got for a race car? How's that car doing, and how's the track doing for you?
Car feels great. This Alsco Chevrolet Camaro is turning just the way I'd like it. Made a little adjustment there, should make it even better, but proud to have Alsco on board. Obviously, they're supporting the race tonight, which is makes us even more motivated to put this car in victory lane come the end of this thing. And I think we got all the tools to do it. Everyone's been doing a great job at Richard Childress Racing, and just very thankful for everyone who's put me in this position. So I just want to make all them proud, take advantage of the opportunity, and finish this thing off.
All right, man. Good job so far. Good luck out there. We'll be watching.
Thank you. Hope everyone enjoys it.
Here's a stat for you. 6 times a driver has picked up their first career win at Kentucky. Could tonight be the night for Alfredo? He'll probably have to beat this guy. We've got some new technology for you. When a caution comes out of the track, your running position is not where you are at the time of caution, but where you were at the previous scoring loop. There are 8 scoring loops at Kentucky. Take us through what we're seeing here, Clint.
So we see these timing loops. This is where NASCAR reverts back. If there's a caution anywhere in front, or obviously in front of that line, they're going to revert back to that timing line. Kurt, man, been on both sides of this over the years, usually on the losing end of this deal. I don't like this rule. I wish we could go to a more live timing thing, but this is the rule that NASCAR has. This is what we use.
It's a simple process with the transponder triggering those lines, and so then you just go back to the last completed one. But it'd be great if we had it live, and because, man, you'd be working your butt off trying to make a pass. You're getting it done, and then they freeze you.
All right, this caution is wrapped up, and we're ready for the final stage. Front row, Cindric and Herbst.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, they were 1-2 at the end of the race last night.
Big push on the outside. You see Chase Briscoe. Big shot to the 22. Teammates on the bottom. I think these pushes, when it comes down to it, just like last night, are very, very important. Got to be careful tiptoeing around that bottom, though.
Yeah, that bottom groove is just not the same bottom groove that I remember last year.
But get up quick, and he did that.
Yes, good job, Riley.
I think that's as well as we have seen that executed from the bottom line all weekend.
Good execution for sure. Now he's got a great spot. Running second, get the car settled in.
Harrison didn't get up. We just talked about the get up, get in that freight train. He is getting freight trained is what he's getting.
Another one, another one. They just keep going by. I mean, that's just that preferred groove. It's got the spray, and
got a gap behind the 19, right in front of it. All right, right up.
Spotter cleared him up high, and now you go back to work.
Whew. See Allgaier up there in that mix?
Yeah, I did.
Reminder, he's still 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down, scored 14th right now.
Man, Burton restarted in 3rd, and now he's all the way back to 10th. Got the 22 checking out. Got the 18 moving up, 98. It's like, you know what? I'll hit you. You know, I'll let you know that it was a quick move up.
But also, you got to be on that, right? And that's not only the driver. He's got to be anticipating that, and so does that spotter. As he comes off of turn 2, he's waiting on that spotter. Brett, clear me up, clear me up. You know, he's got to have that intel.
And here's Gregson, 5th. You know what Burton reminded me of on that restart was Gregson last night. He got trapped on that inside lane, lost the track position, and couldn't get it back. He had a speeding penalty earlier, but he has come from behind and working over his teammate Daniel Hemrick.
Yeah, and hungry. Put the pressure on him right there. Kind of use Harrison Burton's technology. Put the pressure on him, get the air off of him, get him loose in.
He's not going to be able to clear it, though.
Not quite. Now he's loose. You're going to have to slide up in front of him. We've seen cars time and time again. You got to slide up in front of him and set yourself up for the oncoming corner.
There's Allgaier. Again, he is 1 lap down. He needs a caution. All these long green flag runs have hurt his chances of getting the free pass and getting back on the lead lap. And
oh, buddy.
The 9 is Noah Gregson. The 21, Anthony Alfredo. Things have got to be animated inside those race cars.
It is in that one.
Let's listen to the 21.
Where do I need to pick up on pit road? Entry, exit, or both? Because the Gibbs cars have beat me every time. Or did they take 2?
We're probably giving up a little bit on entry, but I don't want you to speed, man. I just want you to keep doing what you're doing.
10-4. We got the long run. We know that.
I mean, I love his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
He's really trying to dig into all the details on what it takes to be a top-tier driver. And pit road speed, getting into your box, out of your box. There's one thing that's tough to do, Alfredo, is to beat a Gibbs pit crew on pit road.
That. I tell you, the other thing that you hear right there is we have that long run. You heard him talk about the long run speed, and you also heard him talk about when we went to him, there's difference in the short run speed. A lot of times you got to give up a little bit. Too loose probably on the short run to be good on a long run, but that could prevail, just like he said.
Yep, that's that give and take. And this is the longest stage of the race. This is the longest sequence. We're likely to see a green flag pit stop, so you're going to be out there a long time. And I saw a few different adjustments through the back window on those pit stops, and the majority of them looked like they were raising their track bars up, try to free them up a little bit.
You mentioned we're past halfway, Kurt. Just a quick thought on strategy, and there's not a ton likely to play out here. Everybody's pitted twice. Most everybody has. So you have 2 sets of tires left, and based on fuel, we know you have to make at least 1 more pit stop from here.
As far as the left front tire wear, that could come into play. We've seen some cord show, and if somebody has a blowout and you've already pitted, that's going to trap you a lap down. It's awful. It happens a ton at the mile-and-a-halfs like Texas, Kansas, here at Kentucky. And so you're going to try to stay out as long as you can on this run.
Let's get an update on the 18, Jamie.
Well, we wondered how he would do the second night in a row, so I talked to his crew chief, Dave Rogers, this morning. I said, what do you do now? Your car was so good last night. He said, you just can't, as a crew chief, leave well enough alone. In order to keep up with everyone else, you have to adjust on these cars. So he said they made about 5 minor adjustments, and they are happy. He's driving better tonight than he was last night.
That's sweet. You know, when you got that combo, crew chief, driver, rookie, trying to find his way, that's what it's all about.
2 other things he's got: confidence and momentum. Those 2 never hurt.
True that.
He's second right now to Cindric. What do you say we take a trip down memory lane? Do you remember this night, Kurt?
Absolutely. My goal was to be on the outside of him off of turn 4 on the last lap, and it worked out perfect. But I think there was a little bit of brother room that he gave me off the exit of turn 4. But huge win. I mean, that was Monster Energy's first win with Chip Ganassi Racing, my first win with those guys. And watch these guys, man. Just the enthusiasm, the love, and the joy. They all jumped on the car, and we rode to victory lane together. Great memories.
How long did it take to get that congratulatory text from your brother on that win?
Let me check my phone. Yeah. It might come in now.
and he left you, right? High and dry. I mean, you were supposed to fly home with him that night.
Yeah, and it's not just because he lost the race. It was because he lost to me. And I could feel it in victory lane. I asked my wife, Ashley, I'm like, we probably got to find a ride home. She's like, yeah, I'll work on it.
Hey, Kurt, I heard you talking about this in this Xfinity race right here. You talked about risking those left side tires. We're seeing some of them cord. I remember that night. You stayed out and caught us all off guard. You led a lot of laps on old tires. Never forget that.
Yeah, our car was really good on the long runs.
Drove off on old tires. Didn't matter. Clean air, king.
Well, it's been a theme of this place since it opened, right? I mean, that's been the thought process at Kentucky.
Just a fast racetrack, a lot of momentum. when you have that combination with this traction compound, it's, you know, pretty narrow lane right there. That's what you're going to have.
I mean, this whole track centers around turn 3. That's the sketchiest part of the track. It's the flattest. It seems to be the sharpest corner. And usually wind angle and sun angle, they're all pouring down in turn 3. So that's what you work around to balance out the rest of it.
Jamie?
Yeah, Adam, something that NASCAR does is just a protocol. Is after pit stops during some races, but not all, NASCAR will come down to a random pit and take the tires. These are the tires that came off the 22 on the last stop. Now what they do, they'll take them back and do a dunk test. They'll make sure that no funny business is going on with those tires, a slow leak or whatever it may be, to give them a competitive advantage. It's completely random and definitely not every race.
And it's the way it needs to be, and that is a huge advantage that we've seen over the years. These crews are going to get all of it. They're going to take risks. That's what they're paid to do. And certainly that funny business is bubbles in the old dunk tank. You know, I worked at a Goodyear tire store when I was 16 years old, and I remember them farmers would bring them tires in, put it in the dunk tank, poof, there's a rock in your tire, old Flint rock from Kansas. And that's certainly what they're looking for in the dunk tank here. As these tires get hot, they build air. If you can control that air, you can control the grip in the tire. It's simple as that.
Boyer, that's impressive. Turn from farmer into racer, doing it through a tire store. You're an inspiration, buddy.
Who was it? Where was that guy
we
from?
didn't all
That
come from that old city boy over here, huh? Kansas.
That's when
Flint
you were-
Rocks, boy. They go through a bunch of tires. What a pain that job was. Dirty. Oh my gosh, it was dirty.
That's when you were punching the time
That
card,
time
right?
card.
Yeah, that's what we talked
we
about
alluded to that
last
night. Good battle right here with Harrison Burton. Noah Gregson just keeps plugging away. Mistakes, got to minimize the mistakes. Huge mistake caught, the 9 car caught on speeding on pit road. Can't spit it out right there, but paying the price. Leading that stage, winning the stage, the first stage, certainly did not get, I think he finished second or 8th, excuse me, in the second stage. A lot of racing to go, 81 laps, see if he can get up through him.
All right, he's got to run on him, but I don't know. He's going to be in a poor position if he doesn't clear him down here in turn 1. And is Gregson going to race him hard?
He's going to let him go.
Yeah.
That extra
Pedaling
burp
it.
right there, that
Yep.
was making sure that you got up in front of him. That's that slide job throttle that you heard right there.
81 laps to go in this race. Austin Cindric leading, but his advantage was over 3 seconds. It's down to 2 1/4 over Riley Herbst, and we know they're going to have to make a pit stop before this thing is over. 75 laps to go at Kentucky for the Xfinity Series. And now our Xfinity fastest lap. Shocker, breaking news, Austin Cindric leading the way. And look at the difference. Last night it was really close first to second. Not tonight, back to Gregson. He's over a mile an hour quicker, Clint.
Yeah, and I think he was again last night, to be honest with you.
Well,
once he got to the point
and
really stretched his legs and showed the muscle of that 22 Ford Mustang, he went, is exactly why he's there. But I tell you, whoa.
Oh, great save.
J.C. Little did a great job right there. That can just as easily go one of two ways. You can spin out, or you can also, as much wheel as he had in that thing, overcorrect. If that thing would have bit and took off right, whoo, she'd have been a handful.
17th right now, driving for JD Motorsports, and he's putting together a good rookie year. Second generation driver. His dad Chad won a number of races in the Xfinity Series.
And that's crucial. When you're a young driver and you save it like that, you get to make more laps. You gain more knowledge, and you're out there still running, and you're not having to rebuild stuff.
And you also get the attention of your owner. He sees that. You know, they saw that he just saved that car and caught the eye, raised the eyebrow of somebody, and that's a good thing. That's what you have to do.
07 Garrett Smithley running both Xfinity races and the Cup race this weekend. On the Xfinity side, driving that 07 for Bobby Dotter, who will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. So, Bobby, great contribution to the series over the years. Happy birthday early to you.
Say, you know who else is going to celebrate a birthday, their birthday boy? Double A
How
tomorrow.
Go ahead. Give me a number. Guess. Go ahead. I want to see how far off you guys are.
You're looking like a 50 to me.
53 or 49.
Okay. Can we turn Kurt's mic down, please?
Kurt's out. 49.
No, it's not 49 either, but I appreciate it.
39.
47.
No chance.
Let's get off the age trivia. We've backed ourselves in a corner here. No good deed goes unpunished. I try to wish a guy a happy birthday, and now I've turned into a senior citizen over here.
Well, dinner's on you then. We'll get a discount.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and if you are a senior citizen, no harm meant with my comment. Hey, you know, Daniel Hemrick's a veteran. Let's go there. He's up to third right now. And just behind him, the battle for fourth, Chase Briscoe and Brandon Jones.
Yeah, Brandon's got a decent run there, but still, it's tough to make those passes off of two, and maybe sizing them up, trying to check out, you know, this B+ setup that's in Briscoe's car. It's looking like an A- right now.
You got to give credit. Him. You got to give credit where credit's due. These Gibbs cars, they've put the work in. The 18 car, Herbst, he was fast last night. You know that they all looked at that. They looked at the setup, went to work. Brandon Jones, again, we talked about this at the top of the show, didn't even get any practice, wrecked in the first lap, first corner of the first lap. This baby's a hot rod tonight.
Yeah, all the Gibbs guys in the top 10 right now. Got P2, P5, P7. And it's, you know, those Gibbs guys are good on pit road, but last year, like, the Gibbs guys seem to run well on the long runs at tracks like this.
You don't want to get old coach mad. When he decides that those cars need to be faster, somehow, some way, they grab another gear. You get them a little momentum. Man, I've raced against these Gibbs cars in the Xfinity Series here and in the Cup Series. Powerhouse, for sure. Don't let them flex their muscle. Don't let them get a handful of confidence. They will show.
Jones to fourth, and hey, it might be a green flag stop here. So it's not just the crew. This is execution by the driver. And Clint, you were saying this earlier. Very challenging pit road because it's arced. It's just odd at Kentucky.
And then you're coming off of that traction compound. You're going through 3 and 4. You got a handful of grip in that thing, handful of wheel. Everything's good. Oh, by the way, now I got to rip it off of that thing. Get down onto that grade. No traction compound and get this thing stopped. If you make a mistake coming on pit road right here, it will be the determining factor of winning and losing this race.
Hemrick looking to move up right now. I mean, he's putting the heat on Herbst. But like you said, as far as getting to pit road, I mean, Anthony Alfredo talked about, hey, am I fast enough on pit road right now for a 1/10 of a second? There's huge time to be made up on hot pit entry.
You got to be careful of that. As a rookie driver like him, that's a great point, Kurt. You've got to make sure that you're not focused on that. Got to be faster and get caught speeding under a green flag pit stop.
Jamie the 8 is having an incredible night.
good for Daniel Hemrick. An incredible run, but he's still dealing with an issue inside the car.
Vibration. Got a vibration. I've done that before on the radio. That's exactly what he was trying to tell him.
I'm glad you can translate that for us, Boyer. I didn't know what that was.
I've heard some of your translating in the car. How would you even start there?
Well, hearing that sound bite, he was speaking your language, that's for sure.
I got it.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, Jeb Burton drove this car last night, was involved in a crash on lap 1, had to go to a backup. Hemrick gets in it from the back to third, and both of these drivers looking for their first career win. And I said it earlier, 6 times a driver has got their first checkered flag right here at Kentucky Speedway. Likely green flag pit stops when we come back. .58 laps remaining at Kentucky Speedway, and a little NASCAR chasm. I just figured out my method for sneaking into the track on Sunday. Now to coat myself in plaster and learn how to sit motionless for 3 hours. What do you think?
Oh, Colonel does look a little stiff. No wonder he doesn't have any friends sitting with him.
That's a tough task there, but I love his enthusiasm.
He didn't have any. He was stiff, Kurt. That wasn't enthusiasm.
No, NASCAR sarcasm.
The Colonel looked terribly boring.
Hey, 58 to go, 57 now. So we're in our window to make it to the end.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to start making stops, and we've gotten the report.
Right here.
The 9 is going to be the first one to come to pit road. And he had a speeding penalty earlier under caution.
He's definitely safe there.
Yeah, he actually cast it back up after he finally gathered it. And
again, but you said it right there. After having a penalty and serving that penalty and living out that penalty, he was definitely conservative right there and should have been.
Yeah, he doesn't want to speed. Cindric definitely doesn't want to speed when he makes his stop. 7-second advantage for him right now. The 9 is in, Jamie.
And the 9-0 Grayson thought he had a tire going down So right when that window opened up to make it in, he came down. He needs some help. He's definitely struggling with the rear tires. He's shattering them a little too loose. We saw the track bar adjustment and a 4-tire stop.
Yeah, even though he's in the window, that was a little earlier than what we were hearing from other teams, but that explains it. He thought maybe he had a tire issue, so they go ahead and get their stop out of the way.
And this bit us at Indy, and this is where you got to be careful. As a team, this is a team deal here. That driver's got to be telling them what he feels. You can't have a tire failure, right? You can't do that, but you can't short pit knowing that you're probably not the only one that are experiencing tire issues right now. Somebody could have trouble, just like what we saw in Indy. Then you get caught a lap down, just like what happened to us, and then your race is over.
Saw Vinnie Miller coming in making his stop. Justin Haley scheduled green flag service with 54 to go. There's the 11, Jamie.
Justin Haley, the big winner at Talladega a few weeks ago. He's been loose most of the night, but now it's taken a turn and gone to the tight side. Of course, the sun is completely down. It's much cooler. A 4-tire stop, white the grill, good stop.
You look at the top 5 with 54 to go. Cindric leads. Hemrick is second. Brandon Jones did get by his teammate. You saw that, Riley Herbst. So Jones is third, Herbst is fourth, Briscoe is fifth. And giving up that second position is the 8 of Daniel Hemrick. He's going to make a stop here. 53 to go.
I find that one a little puzzling. It looked like he was coming to him as far as the track, the speed. And wow, he threw on in there. They are not going to be able to jack that left side up.
I was going to say, when he gets around to the left side, it's going to be really difficult. You're going to have to keep an eye on this Jack guy. He's going to have his work cut out for him.
I don't know what they're going to be able to get done over there.
Did a good job.
What do you see, Jamie?
Absolutely slid it into his box, having a hard time taking extra time. Got some tape on it. They got the work done on that 8. He was a little tight, had that vibration. He'll be very relieved as you see Anthony Alfredo making his way down.
Alfredo talked about the fact that he felt like he was losing ground when he made pit stops under caution. We'll see how he handles it under green. Looks smooth there, Jamie. And we'll get back to Jamie in a moment, because here comes the race leader. That's the 22 of Austin Cindric. He gives up the top spot to make what could be his final pit stop of the night.
Look, definitely plenty conservative, which he needed to be coming on pit road. Nice clean stop right here. Exactly what they need.
Riley Herbst is in, and here's the leader, Jamie.
Austin Cindric, such confidence after getting that first oval win last night. Pit crew has been spot on, got the pit box exactly like they wanted. A really good stop last time by minimal changes here. A 4-tire stop. Brandon Jones is in. He had a loose wheel earlier and had to pit later, but that car was coming to life with these cooler temperatures.
Michael Annett making a stop. Saw Riley Herbst, talked about him being in, and all of this cycles through to Chase Briscoe, now in the lead with 50 laps remaining. And there are a number of drivers that have still not made their green flag pit stop. Riley Herbst penalty, too fast exiting. That is a no-no when you're making a green flag pit stop.
It's a heartbreaker. Just fixing to say hats off to these guys. They've done a great job. A lot to ask out of these guys, not having that experience coming on to pit road under these conditions, and then unfortunately caught that 18 car.
Here comes Briscoe to make his stop. Turns the lead over to Harrison Burton. And there is Herbst. He'll have to make a pass-through penalty. What about Briscoe, Jamie?
Chase Briscoe, he's just been fighting the handling of this car tonight as well. Needs the front end to work a little bit better, and so that would help 3 and 4. He's not able to be as aggressive as he wants to be as they make that 4-tire stop.
You know who really wants a caution right now is Justin Allgaier, because he has stayed on track, putting himself back on the lead lap. If he gets a caution here, he could get right back into it.
Harrison Burton would take one right now.
Yes, he would. Ross Chastain.
He's going to set an unofficial record for most laps in the lucky dog position.
So frustrating.
Those are the longest nights.
Oh, it's nothing worse. Here comes your race leader, Harrison Burton, at pit road. Down through the gearbox. Load up pretty good.
So left side Burton making his stop. Right side Chastain has taken over the race lead in the 10 car.
Those boys really don't have much going on tonight, so you may as well stretch out this strategy and just stay out there longer. They just haven't quite had the speed that they've needed or that he's shown.
Tell us about the stop for Burton, Jamie.
Look at the brake rotor on the right front, still on fire from locking it up, coming on the pit road. A 4-tire stop, minimal changes for Harrison Burton.
He exits as Riley Herbst pays his debt to NASCAR, and Chastain going to stay on track, bypassing pit road. And Cindric is now driven his way back up to second as everyone makes their stops. Allgaier shown third, but both Chastain and Allgaier, first and third, have to make a pit stop.
He's wheeling it down on the inside,
Whoa.
sideways.
I don't think he hit the wall, but boy, he used all the real estate, got loose down there low.
Safe.
Ooh, that was a big save.
And then again, this is the beginning of this long run, and crew chiefs want the car to be a little bit on the free side so that you don't end up too tight on the longer run. But that's stepping over the line a little bit.
You know, Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick were only 6 or 8 seconds back of Cindric when that cycle of stops began. But you look at it now, and it hasn't completely cycled through, but they've lost a ton of time. Really good execution by the 22 there.
Yeah, it looks to be like he gained 2 seconds total on the sequence as far as the green flag pit stop went.
And that's big because you got to figure he was being pretty conservative, right?
You know, and honestly, you look at his background, being a road racer, I would think that would play into a road racer's background. Coming onto pit road, judging that distance, that's always a hard thing for me to understand. And I think when you look at a road racer's perspective on a lot of those things, I think that background of his really played into that.
That and Hemrick parked right next to the pit wall.
Yeah, Daniel Hemrick, that cost him and his team several seconds, I would say.
And Cindric going back to the race lead because Chastain has made the decision to come down pit road with 44 laps to go. It's a scheduled green flag stop for the driver out of Florida, Jamie.
Really nice run for the watermelon driver out of Florida, as you mentioned, finishing third last night. Tonight, that car has been tight from the beginning of the race. They've been adjusting on it to try to free it up. It'll be a 4-tire stop here and one final swing at it.
Chastain pitting, so is Justin Allgaier. And back out front and feeling good is Austin Cindric. He won it last night in overtime. Tonight, he's making it look easy. With 42 to go, he says, please don't give me a caution late in this race. MLB on Fox returns on July 25th with Fox Saturday Baseball, and we could not be more excited. Baseball is back, and of course, America's home for baseball this summer, as always, will be Fox and FS1. Going to be great to have baseball back, and I know one guy that'll be rooting for the Royals, and one guy that'll be rooting for those Cubs.
Go Cubs, go.
Did you guys see the Red Sox on the promo board there?
Did not. What happened?
I did not.
Well, Pam Miller she's a Red Sox fan, our producer.
Funny how that works.
And they were not on there, but the Yankees represented Artie Kempner talking trash as we speak. And Rich Gross, who's working tape tonight for us in Los Angeles. Also,
Chastain barely lost the lead lap right here.
Yeah, we're interested in the race here, Adam.
Yeah, I know.
We've got
just
racing.
trying to have a little fun.
About baseball. We got racing going on.
What do you got, Chastain? Try to unlap himself.
Really needing around that 22 car to get back on the lead lap. Uh-oh. Trouble for Mike Snyder. Oh, big trouble.
And he's getting out, so he's done. And here's what's tough is that he came in after a good night last night of getting above the cut line. Now he's likely going to fall back out because Brandon Brown is 14th. He's putting together a solid evening.
One thing I just noticed was Hemrick was running up about 6 or 8 feet above the preferred area in turns 1 and 2. Maybe the groove is opening up a little bit down in 1 and 2. Or it was just he was trying to position himself around the lap cars. We'll see.
He's going to the outside right. Well, he was looking to do so.
He's in a log jam right now.
Whoa, the 5's way high.
Too high. You're too high.
Matt Mills, yeah.
Whoa.
You can maybe have a tire going down? Because I saw a lot of smoke there, too, or maybe a little bit of smoke.
That's just dirty up there. Very, very slick. And watch, it'll be slick and have his hands full down here as well. He'll have to slow down. That's something that we saw last night that I was paying attention to, and I made note of for myself. If you do jump that cushion and get up there, you pick up a lot of debris, a lot of stuff. You got to be making sure that when you drive off into the next corner that you got a car underneath of you. Takes a minute to get that cleaned up off the tires.
You have to clean his shorts out too. Yeah,
that's for
You'll
sure.
Have that.
That had my attention. I saw him shoot up there. I knew he was in big trouble. Man, Chastain's wanting around this 22 car. Just let me around and need back on the lead lap.
I mean, his tires are 8 laps fresher, right? Because he did stay out longer trying to make all that work, and he desperately needs that caution now because he's the first car 1 lap down.
I mean, he's wheeling the heck out of it, or Cindric has got it back on cruise control a little bit.
Right there, what I saw is why I think this 22 car is so stout. You saw how big he arced it into turn 3. That is asking a lot out of your car. Big arc getting into 3, and then that's why it enables him to shoot across that middle, get it on the throttle early, and being so powerful through the middle of the corner.
I want to go back to what you said, Kurt. You've completely controlled this race. You've led almost 100 laps. 11-second, now 12-second advantage. How much do you just back it down and take care of your car here as we watch the 98 and the 18 go at it?
Whoa.
Close quarters there.
Briscoe and Herbst,
to squeak through there, and he kept the outside position on those guys. Man, Alfredo still continues to impress. Another top 5 run going right now. But to your point, Adam, as far as the way that Cindric is approaching these final 50, 40, 30 to go now, you're going to back it off a little bit. You want to try to save that right front tire, and if a caution comes out, more than likely you're not going to pit. And you want to have that right front tire air pressure at peak for the restart and to be able to cut and take off. So I would be running around, what, 90%, Clint, right now?
No, but I heard you say it right there, for the restart. That's the thing you don't want to see. And Kurt said that earlier before we went to break. I call it the old haymaker. You're out here leading this thing. Everything's quiet. Everything's going fine. You're like, all right, where's this thing coming from? Where's that right hook going to come from? And that's the caution that you don't want to see.
I mean, as a leader, you got a ton of stuff to think about with a 12-second lead. You've got to still keep in the back of your mind that a restart will pop up, a yellow will come out, and you got to have a game plan when that happens.
Well, here's what's different tonight than last night when you talk about staying out, if there's a late caution versus coming down pit road. You know, we've only got 9 on the lead lap tonight, and everybody does still have a set of tires, so I've got to believe that could factor in a little bit. Maybe not for the first 2 or 3 guys, but outside the top 5. We'll wait and see what transpires if we do get a caution.
Yeah, especially with just 9 guys on the lead lap. You definitely want to, if you're in the back section, come in and put some tires on, give her a shot.
Burton is 6th, and Allgaier continues trying to find his way back onto the lead lap, and of course he's not in the free pass position now. We talked about Chastain.
See Cindric getting away from. Ooh, that was close.
Jackson was gassing it up right there.
Led 39 laps early, did the second-year driver out of Las Vegas, but a speeding penalty after winning a stage has put him behind tonight. What do you have, Jamie?
Brandon Jones doing a nice job in the 19. Last year in this race, they felt like they had the best car, but they had a blown motor, so they brought a very similar setup. But remember, it is a backup car. Talk to the team. They were working hard in the garage today, getting this car set up. It took them about 3 hours, and now it's just coming to life as you see him running there in third. Adam, his last 3 finishes, 36, 37, 36. He's got some points to make up.
Yeah, and Jamie, he's struggled at Kentucky as well. First ever start here, top 5. Since that time, it has been awful, and it continued with that lap 1 wreck last night. But as Jamie said, great hard work has put him in position this evening.
And both of those teams right there, perfect example right there in your picture, the 8 car and 9. Backup cars. Those teams worked their tails off. Danny Hemrick hasn't even made a lap on this thing before tonight. Neither had Brandon Jones. He got wrecked out, as we talked about at the top of the show. Those guys running second and third. Big night for those guys and their teams, and all their hard work being paid off. It's good to see that.
24 laps to go in part 2 of this doubleheader for the Xfinity Series, and the fun just beginning at Kentucky. Tomorrow, ARCA and trucks. And then on Sunday, all of it here on FS1. It's the Quaker State 400. Our coverage begins with Race Hub at 2 Eastern time. Then Mike Joy, Jeff Gordon, Larry McReynolds have the call at 2:30. Wednesday night, it's the All-Star Race. You got Race Hub, you got the Open. All of it begins at 6. And then for $1 million at 8:30 from Bristol, no less. I know you two love short track racing. Mark it down, set the DVR. Join us, if you will, on Wednesday night.
$1 million. You've won that before, haven't you?
You won in Charlotte, yeah. You were fast at Bristol this spring.
$1 million. Yeah, I got to race my way in, though. You got your lights. Boy, you wanted those lights.
Oh,
You led the charge on that. You know you did.
Absolutely not.
We look like the what's that movie it came off of? Kurt watched it on repeat one too many times, and here we are with neon lights. I think Denny said it best. He had a 93, what did he say, a 93 Ford Ranger pickup with neons.
Hang on, these boys are racing hard. Jones.
There goes Brandon Jones.
Man, we were just talking him up.
Straight night into the wall.
Man, we were just talking him up.
That thing snapped fast. Really fast.
That is a treacherous turn 1 and 2. Man, there is no grip in the low groove down there. The kid's done a great job all night running third and then throws it away with the move down there.
In that huge lead. He didn't want to see that.
11 seconds. Poof, gone. I mean, here we are side drafting, and you know Hemrick's not going to give up. Hemrick is going to side draft all the way down into turn 1. Jones wants to stay in the gas. He's got all that air pushing down on his nose, and now, boom.
Way it went.
That thing snapped quick, boy.
It definitely did, and that's just a product of that traction compound, that car on the outside. Very frustrating to be able to try to pass somebody like that. One groove racetrack. Unfortunately, probably should have been patient, didn't, and it bit him.
Lights under the 19, like what we'll see in the All-Star race, or maybe just a little different, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, man, I hated to see that. Kid did such a great job. I know he's going to be super frustrated. But another tore-up race car.
I mean, it's 1 and 1A on the frustration meter. Yeah. I mean, he's frustrated, but so is Austin Cindric. He had that huge lead. The last thing he wanted to see is a caution. And here's Hemrick audio. He was racing with Brandon Jones when he went around.
75, David. 10-4, I think you'll be fine. Moved up, saw him coming, but got myself in trouble.
Oh, the 8 hit the wall there.
Good to see Brandon Jones out of the car.
Yeah, pretty good shot,
yeah,
too.
Scuffed up a little bit.
Yeah.
20 laps to go.
He must have had like that wobble walk all the way off of turn 2.
I would say he moved up, made an adjustment when we saw the 19 car coming at him and probably jumped the cushion, got up out of that traction compound. Oh yeah, you can see the 8 clear at the top of your screen. Again, I would say he countered. When he saw the 19 coming up at him, he moved up to give him some room, jumped the cushion, got in the slick, like we saw that 5 car earlier and got in the wall.
That's a little bit more than just a little bit. That's kind of a lot bit. That's going to be questionable.
You know, it's amazing though, Kurt. We've seen time and time again with these bodies on these race cars in the Xfinity series, they can live to see another day.
What is it about the 9 or the 19 and the 8 rather? Jeff Burton went around early last night. Brandon Jones nowhere to go. And both teams had to go to a backup car for tonight, as we have discussed so many times. And both had brought those cars to the front after a real hard-working night.
Yeah, that's a shame. 2 completely different set of circumstances, but we got
same result.
Almost 4 wrecked cars here.
I'm looking at this with 20 laps to go, and I'm wondering, what do you do from a strategy perspective? Because you only have 8 guys being scored on the lead lap. So do you pit here?
Yeah. Key word is strategy. Didn't mean to walk on you there, Adam, but I think that strategy, we saw it last night. 2 tires with the 11 car, Justin Haley. You got to look at some of those opportunities here with 19 to go. Oh, man, this is not, we just talked about this. This is not what the 22 car wanted to see. But if anybody's up for the challenge, it's them. They proved it last night.
Yeah, you got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to go for anything. And to me, the strategy, if you're the leader, you're staying out here. You're going to have lane choice. Your tires are hot, and you're going to protect that dirty air. You're going to protect that track position. But guys that are on the tail end of the lead lap, you know, you're going to jump on in, grab some fresh tires.
What do you have for us, Jamie?
Well, you guys had talked about patience, and Brandon Jones just before that incident had said, man, I'm really getting loose. And they told him, it's the 8 taking the air off of you. That's Hemrick. So just, you know, be careful and mind the area, that air that you're feeling. And he stayed in it, and you see he just lost the nose and hit the wall. So unfortunately, we're on the truck going back to the medical center, where we'll talk to Brandon Jones for the 2nd time in 2 days.
Hey, and let me just say it right here. Jamie Little's doing an unbelievable job hustling. We got one pit reporter on site this weekend, and Jamie, you're covering every series at the care center, up and down pit road. Yep. Great effort.
Gold star,
it's fun.
Jamie.
I love my job, and you guys make it fun. You're doing a great job up there as well.
Whoa, hey, look at this.
Whoa,
Cindric's going to pit. Man, I didn't see that coming. I didn't. It looks like everybody is here, or most of them anyway. Well, that's good for them. But now you got to take care of business on pit road.
Yeah, that's how many lappers he had in between him and second place. It painted a bad picture for a second. I thought everybody stayed out, and actually they all came.
Crazy. I really thought track position was the way to go. This is not the case.
Cindric does have that preferred pit stall because he won the race last night. Briscoe is in. So is Hemrick, and Alfredo sideways in his pit box.
Buddy. That is everybody trying to get that last inch, and they're all trying to get it on pit road.
Cindric wins the race off. Hemrick is 2nd. 3rd is Chase Briscoe. 4th is Harrison Burton. He gained a spot there.
I would say he got into the wall enough that they're making.
And I
might have to fix some things.
I don't see anyone who stayed out there. So, you know, Harrison Burton, good situation. He'll be restarting in the outside lane.
that front changer took one big step to the right, and I arced it out, and I just loose on the brake. Sorry about that.
It's time for you to show us something special here on this next restart, that's all.
Yeah, you just got to dig back out of that hole. He kind of sauced up that pit stop there.
You worked that right in, didn't you,
That
Kurt?
was so smooth.
He was penalized. They were over the wall too soon, and so he's going to have to drop to the tail. So he really is going to have to show him what he's got here. And Justin Allgaier, one of those drivers that took the wave around, so did Riley Herbst, and he's back on the lead lap on older tires, but he's back on the lead lap.
At this point, I guarantee you they'll take it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Free pass Ross Chastain. And up front, it's going to be Cindric and Hemrick. And the restart going to come inside of 15 laps to go. Photo op for JD Motorsports here.
Sure is. Got half the field.
Wow. Beautiful.
Can you identify that one, guys?
It's a Jupiter.
Oh, there you go.
Way to
You
go,
paid
Poirier.
attention in science class. Or you just listened to the production crew.
The little guy in my left ear may have told me that. And hey, check that out. Whoa. That is, you literally can see how, I've never seen that. I need this camera.
These
need to
Fox
borrow
cameras
this camera.
are pretty special.
Hey, take the drone up there and let's check it out.
Let me say this while we have a chance. This is our final Xfinity broadcast.
Oh.
Artie Kempner, John Howard, everybody at the track, all the men and women have done an unbelievable job dealing with difficult circumstances. Drano Nelson, the whole group have been incredible. Pam Miller leading us here in the studio. Eric Mandia, Patrick Perrin, so many folks behind the scenes that make this happen. And we have had to hit the curveball because we've moved in the studio. We thank each and every one of you, and I know the fans do as well, because we are enjoying some great NASCAR racing on what feels like every day of the week.
Certainly, and I could tell you from my, look at that head of hair. Yeah,
looking good, Steve.
Looking good, baby. But from my perspective as a race car driver, I didn't know this side of this. I didn't know the effort, the meetings, the preparation that it goes into taking and making us look good on the racetrack. So all you guys, we all as race car drivers, thank you. And as a fan of this sport, thank you very much.
Jake.
Easy on the camera there.
And Goat there.
An incredible group of people. Talented group of people everywhere.
Stoley should wear a mask all the time, I think, actually.
It's perfect. He can't defend himself.
Now, Kevin Clark is our eyes above the racetrack. He's our chief spotter at all these races, so we thank Kevin, who's a really good golfer, by the way, and Andy Jeffers, who's been our boots on the ground each and every race, making sure all of those onboard cameras are installed properly. Russell Winrich, our statistician, Jimmy Hicks, doing a nice job keeping all the numbers straight. K-Mac and Doug E on the audio side. They've won like 100 Emmys for NASCAR on Fox Audio.
Really is a good team. It's a family. Again, walking into this thing not knowing anything, you guys are family. You guys are, you all look after one another and take care of business.
Final Xfinity race tonight. A couple of more Cup events Sunday in the All-Star race, and we got the Gander trucks going all the way to the championship. Going to be 13 laps to go when we get the restart here. Cindric is dominated. Can he close the deal?
These boys have been scrubbing in their tires. They're in second gear right now, and they are hammered down.
Third jump right there. 8-car got a good jump. He's got to be careful. He just learned what going into the inside of turn 1 can do.
He's going to do it,
to take it. Pull up, took the lead.
Oh, crossover. Hemrick's loose. Here comes Cindric.
He went for it, but he's going to pay the price now.
Briscoe up to second.
He moved up too quick, you know? Didn't let the car settle. Look at these guys. Oh, Gregson.
Contact. Burton kisses the wall.
Both in the wall.
So does Gregson.
Those boys are going to pay a huge price.
We stay green.
Go time. Money's on the line. You're out of chances. Got to go for it.
And
Justin Allgaier's back up inside the top 10 after all of that.
Let them Mustangs run, boys.
And what have we seen continuously? It's that inside groove. It's so treacherous. Guys cannot get the grip that they need down there, and you're just washing up into the car on the outside.
Allgaier back in the top 10, 7th. Huge, huge change of events for him and his race team.
I love this angle right here. Driving down into turn 3 with Gragson on the inside. He's trying to keep into the PJ1 spray, but that car on his outside took away all of his side force, and he's just going to get moved up, and then Burton's there.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. He drove it off in there. It was a pretty aggressive move. Fortunately, took the position from both of those guys and ruined their day.
Bottom line, just didn't work out.
Out of time. Desperation. Got to go for it.
That's what you're going to be doing. Just Burton was in that wrong spot. It's tough for him to back out, you know. And
I don't know that he was in a wrong spot. He was in the catbird spot. It just didn't work out.
When you get back to that son of a gun, stop his ass.
Could have told you that was going to be coming over the radio.
Yeah.
More advice from Rick Corelli, right?
And he's a guy you don't want to be fighting.
I'd say if you could find his mama, she's probably saying the same thing.
Yeah, Kim does get a little animated, doesn't she?
There we go.
All right, see this 8 car again. We've seen this happen time and time again. Got to be careful right here. Oh!
That's Chastain in the 10 who got the free pass when that last caution came out.
Tiptoeing through there.
3 wide right here. Dan, you hear me? He's got his hands full.
Chastain gave him just enough room going into one. What we got here?
Going for it.
The net.
Taking it. Now he's going to slide up. He's going to get loose.
He carves out.
Chastain got in the back of the 8 car. Moved him out of the way.
We got cars
now
everywhere.
Allgaier back in the mix. 3 wide.
Get him, Herbst. Look at these. Look at these guys. 3 wide. Now what's going to happen? Who's going to back out?
Somebody better.
Herbst did.
I mean, these junior motorsports cars are coming from everywhere. Annette is there. Hemrick, Allgaier, and Gregson back in the mix. 8 laps to go.
All it takes is a caution.
I love this race, and when you have your momentum shook up from somebody else, and then you got to get back in it. Keep after it.
7 remaining, and just under a second. The separation from first to second. Cindric to Briscoe.
See Riley Herbst getting back in the mix right here as Anthony Alfredo getting back up from their mishaps on pit road.
That speaks volumes for a young driver to have a problem like that and jump right back out there and put himself in position. Alfredo's had a real impressive weekend.
Got to make up for it. Certainly has.
All in all, though, it's going to be completed as a successful weekend. But that mishap on pit road, it's a huge lesson learned. And Briscoe's turned the B+ setup into, I'm going to give it like an average A.
Yeah.
You know, A-.
Definitely moved it into A. And I tell you what, that track position right there will do that. It'll take a B+ car and make it an A.
Exactly right. Give it that clean air. Both of them running consistent lap times here at the end. Gragson's still working hard. Let's see. Allgaier's back on the lead lap. This is going to get good.
They're teammates.
Drove it off in there.
But they have gotten together before.
They're not afraid to get together. Oh, slipped up, got loose. Kept her off the fence, and Alfredo's going to cash in on that little mishap there.
You
so frustrating right there.
Burton back in 12th. How about this? The last driver to win on consecutive nights in the same series, the King, Richard Petty in 1971.
Hey, be careful. Every time we talk good about somebody, they have trouble. Let's make sure that he gets it here and he can beat Petty's from 1971 record.
We should have waited for the white flag before we had that graphic up, huh?
Man, it makes you feel bad. Let's go to this guy. Well, he got caught speeding on pit road. Had a wheel come loose. Let's go to this guy. This guy's doing good. Well, he just wrecked. It's like we're jinxing him.
Got those 2 Fords out front, and then we've got Haley and Chastain with a couple Chevys running 3rd, 4th. That's a pretty good comeback for those guys. They were swatting flies, it looked like, early on. And just, again, the perseverance. And then Chastain just did the wave around, right?
He did.
So
he got the free pass. Yeah, his first car 1 lap down.
Doing it, man. He's a guy that can pull off a move like that. Hard-nosed racer. So, yeah, give me the ball. I want to run with it.
This is just like last night. The Colic cars, maybe not a part of it all night long, but when we got down to the end, they found their way to the front. Yep.
Found a way. It's what you have to do.
Here comes Cindric off of turn 4. He'll see the white flag this time around.
Textbook kind of night. He executed perfectly. Hot pit entry on a green flag run, and then with this leading laps, getting the stage win. And I need to try to do a Credit One plug right now. It's 1 to go, brought to you by Credit One. Thank you for bringing this out.
It's all in the family over
That's
there,
right? They're on our cars at Ganassi. Thank you, guys.
Good job,
Cindric,
Kurt.
do it, Cindric.
You're stealing my job.
Hey, now
Here we
I'm
go.
going to brag a little bit. How about me? I think it was one of my 3 things right here, talking about can Cindric close the deal? Can he sweep the weekend? And he did it. Just that. Putting that snap on Ford Mustang in victory lane. Big weekend for them boys in Kentucky.
He started the year 0 for 13.
Really nice work, everybody. Nice work.
Austin Cindric goes back-to-back and sweeps Kentucky.
Excellent job,
This is the
guys.
best.
Excellent
Holy
job.
cow. Thank
Made it look
you.
easy.
Let's do this again.
Yes, sir. How about next?
You have to wait a week this time. It won't be tomorrow.
Haley ends up 3rd.
Ooh, looks like the 8 got moved a little bit.
Man, those Junior Motorsports guys.
Then he hung up, tried to get down side drafting. Annette got loose, put him in the wall.
Hemrick ended up 9th. Annette was 8th.
Tossed her on in there. Man.
Cost him a couple spots right there.
That Junior Motorsports competition meeting ought to be pretty interesting this week.
Awkward.
Oh, to the 2nd gear scratch. Or 3rd gear that.
I would say, man, that's one of those keyed over the radio, burn it down. Doug Yates is like, really?
Yeah, that'd be enough. Great burnout. Great win. Great 2 wins.
Man, they made the call too. 4 tires, give up the track position, and then boom.
How about this? He had never won last year. He goes back-to-back on the road courses, Watkins Glen and Mid-Ohio. And he comes into this weekend winless in 2020, and again 2 in a row, winning last night and tonight. First 2 victories on an oval in the Xfinity Series.
Power of momentum. You can't outrun it. Momentum, confidence. Right there. That's what they have.
And we said it earlier. Stage winner had never won at Kentucky. You can erase that from the stat book.
Fix that problem. He's full of enthusiasm, always is. I like these interviews. He does a good job.
He and Brian Wilson won for the first time as a driver-crew chief combo in the ARCA Series right here at Kentucky. It happened a few years ago, and boy, they're feeling the love in the bluegrass once again, Jamie.
Austin Cindric, the tallest driver in the field, and tonight he dominated. Austin, most laps led ever in your career in one single race. But you know what was different tonight, Austin? You got to burn it down. How much fun was it to actually make it official?
Well, I hope I laid enough rubber down to make up for Watkins Glen last year. That was pathetic. So, no, I'm just so excited. This is all credit to my team. You know, what we did tonight was really impressive because we ran one setup last night and won the race. We came with another setup and won the race again. And that happens at the shop. That happens with the guys on the box. So all credit to them. I'm the lucky one that gets to drive the Snap-on Ford Mustang. Thank you to Moneyline, Menards, Discount Tire, everyone who puts this together, Odyssey Battery. Thank you to everyone. Ford Performance, a 1-2 between me and Chase. You know, I got a text from Mark Rushbrook, head guy from Ford, tell me we need to have a 1-2 with me and Chase. So there you go, Mark. We'll do it again. That was a lot of fun.
Austin, what was it like for you? 17 to go. Brian Wilson, your crew chief, says, oh, we're not coming in. We are staying out. Then the last minute call, you wanted your car to be a little bit better. What is that moment like, hoping that other people follow you down?
I trust my man. You know, it's difficult, but it's a team sport, and that's why. Obviously, he made the right call, and that's why he's sitting on the box, and I'm steering the car.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie.
Austin Cindric makes it 2 in a row on an oval here at Kentucky.
Jamie with the rare stat, tallest driver in the field, and his dad, president at Team Penske, Tim Cindric, did play college basketball. And look, this is moments ago, Noah Gregson talking with Harrison Burton.
Doing a little more than pushing.
Now, crew members do arrive. Harrison not backing down here. And now, now they're really going at it.
Yeah, they are. Those boys are going at it.
Michael and Nat came over. Here's another angle.
Hey, man, you hit me. No, man, you hit me.
Passion.
No, man. No, what was all that? I don't know, man.
Friday Night Lights. Whoa!
Now, I thought in this era of social distancing and masks and all that, maybe we wouldn't have this kind of post-race activity, but you can see, even though it's dark and it's off in the distance, this thing lingered for a little bit.
Just a little conversation back there in the lights, huh?
That is the passion.
That's passion. That's exactly what it is.
But, I mean, that's going to come with some consequences. I would know, you know. I would know, yeah. Still going after it. Oh, that's the junior motorsports situation now.
Just intense. These guys have been here all weekend long, back-to-back nights. Frustration on Noah's part.
Wow.
That was good, hard side-by-side racing. Unfortunately, they didn't hit. But, hey, let's go to break real quick. Figure it out.
And once again, the flag plant from Austin Cindric. We told you that baseball's coming back to Fox, so it's fitting. We had a brawl at the end of a doubleheader. Harrison Burton getting together with Noah Gragson. That's what happened on track. This is what happened in the garage after.
Put the old hand on him.
Not
once, off.
But twice.
Let's go to Jamie.
And I've caught up with Harrison Burton. And Harrison, you're looking at it there. But take us through what happened exactly. You obviously didn't back down when you saw Noah.
No, just frustrated. That's 2 times since we've come back after the COVID-19 pandemic on restarts. Same situation. We rallied all night to get our Dex Imaging Supra into 4th place, and then the 9 happens to start in 3rd, and just, I don't know, it forgets what racetrack we're at or what, but both times puts us in the fence, Charlotte and now here. So I had a lot of people coming up to me afterwards saying that was a long time coming, so I guess that was a popular move. But honestly, it's about these guys that work so hard on this race car and give me fast race cars and give us a race car that's capable of winning both nights, I think. Just mistakes made by me, and we kind of tuned it out this race that took us out of contention. And then once we finally got to where I thought we could have been, to get taken out like that was frustrating. So, I was just frustrated and, just sorry for our race team that happened.
Well said. Thanks, Harrison. All right, we're going to walk over here and catch up with Noah Gregson, who is over here with his team. And Noah, we just saw the replay, you and Harrison. We heard his take. What's your take on what happened between the two of you?
I was battling with our switch Camaro all race and sped on pit road there early and got us in a hole and was just back in traffic. This track is so much about just track position and restarts, and I don't know. Unfortunate day for our switch team at Junior Motorsports. We'll go on to Texas and rebound for it.
He said that this started back in Charlotte, actually. Did you see that coming between the two of you?
Not really. We're all racing hard. Us teammates are beating and banging for the finishes at the end and whatnot. So I don't really have a comment. I haven't really seen everything that happened, but just thankful for this opportunity. Everybody at Junior Motorsports is working really hard, and we're going to go rebound at Texas.
All right, thanks, Noah.
Noah's 21. Burton's 19. These guys are going to be around a while. And to see them go at it like this, not just throughout their career, but throughout this season, and a couple of guys that have won races, Clint, they're going to be a part of the championship equation this season.
Yes, they are, but more impressed with Jamie's ability to get an interview with not one of them, but both of them in that squabble. Good job, Jamie. That was awesome. Awesome finish. A lot happened right there, Kurt, at the end of this Xfinity race. Just goes to show you never know what's going to happen at the end of these things.
Kentucky Speedway is one of those tough tracks to do restarts on. And with the preferred groove being where the spray is and the traction compound, everybody's fighting for that same spot. Two guys going after whatever position they can grab at the end. They both handled their interviews really well afterwards. Again, it's that passion. It's that desire to grab that one more spot. And that's what a 21 and a 19-year-old are going to do.
We're talking about the fight, but Cindric wins on back-to-back nights. What a special run for him.
Definitely won the war. Both wins sweeping the weekend at Kentucky. Fast race car. They took those snap-on tools and put the super tune on that baby.
Yeah, a solid team execution. And then Cindric, again, I would have thought he would have had more oval wins. So congratulations to him. And Brian, they're starting to find their groove, and they're going to be a threat all the way down to the end.
Great job, guys. Good luck Sunday at Kentucky Speedway in the Cup race. It's been a great run in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for us. There is the schedule for tomorrow and Sunday. Here's a look back at some of our best moments.
Drivers, start your engine!
Here we go. Let's call this, baby.
This is spectacular.
Great job, Chase Briscoe.
Hey, Noah Gregson. Hey, Noah, do you even know who you're talking to?
Not a clue.
Hey, Noah, it's Boyer.
Wait a minute, are you talking?
I don't think you had the wrong number.
I just hit the little tricky button.
That is spectacular.
Anytime you lose and you're frustrated in second place, I'm just so upset.
Wait, when were you born? 90. My mom wasn't letting me listen to Ja Rule when I was 5 years old, apparently.
Noah says we're all good. Myatt says, I'm going to have to think about that one.
What these kids need is a dose of the old time card machine. Walking over to hit that thing every week. I never want to do that again.
Harrison wins for the first time in his career.
You got the height advantage, but the heart is here.
Look at this, boys.
Unbelievable.